Hello po, ma'am. Good day. So def register new user. So these functions allows a user to register by providing a username and password. If the user data file doesn't exist, it creates a default admin account. Otherwise, it checks if the provided username already exists. If it does, registration is prevented. Otherwise, the new user is added to the user data file with a default role of user. The second one is def login existing user. So in this function handles user login. Users are prompted to enter their username and password. It then verifies these credentials against the user data file. If the credentials match, the user is granted access. Otherwise, an error message is displayed. The next one is def create admin account. So in this function, i- it ensures there is always an admin account by creating one with predefined credentials if the user data file doesn't exist. And also, the admin account is then saved to the user data file with the role admin. So this is the task management section. Def create task for user. These functions allows a user to create a new task. Users also provide a task name, description, and the task is assigned a unique ID and default status of pending. Tasks are stored in a file name after the user's username. And so, yung mga susunod po na functions, ma'am, i-explain po ng kagrupo ko sa susunod po na video. Maraming salamat po, ma'am.
Dito po sa def main is yung main function to drive the application. If not OS path exists user data file, then create default admin account. And then may empty list. Well, pag nag-true po, is ma-print po siya ng task manager menu, please register, login info, or exit. Then, sa user choice po is ma-input po yung user ng number na pipiliin niya po dito sa please register, login info, and exit. If pinili po ng user is number 1, is ma-register po siya ng new account and or new user. If po, if mag-choice po siya ng number 2 is may ma-login account po siya. If yung role niya po is administrator, makikita niya po lahat ng user task as admin. If role or user lang, pag user lang po. While true, pag nag-true po yung condition is ma-print po ng add task, view task, update task, search task, and delete task or logout. And ma-choose po yung user ng number kung ano po yung gusto niyang piliin. If pinili po ni user yung number 1 is ma-create task po siya. Ma-create task for user ng username. If 2 po yung pinili niya is ma-view task po siya. And pag 3 naman po is ma-update siya or ma-view task. Sa 4 naman po is ma-search task yung user. Then pag 5 naman po is doon na po yung delete. Then sa elif, pag 6 po is malalag out po yung account ng user. Elif user choice 3, ma-print po is the program is existing the program. Then ma-break na po yung code, ma-exit na po yung program. Sa load task naman po is loads task from a file named after the usernames returns a list of dictionary and representing a task. Is may task po dito na may empty list. Then sa try po, with open, i-open niya po yung file. For line in file is nakalagay po yung task ID, name, description, status. Then sa line strip po is aalisin niya po yung leading or trailing sa white space from the string in line po. Then ma-split. Then ma-task append po is ma-append po yung ID, name, description, and status. Pag file not found po, pag dire po na file na hanap yung file is mapas po siya. No action needed if file doesn't exist. An empty list of tasks is returned. Then ma-return po siya sa task. Dito po sa empty list na task. Then sa def save task for user naman po is nakalagay po dito yung username and task. Save task to a file named after the username. Each task is represented as a dictionary and is stored in a list. Then i-open niya po yung i-open niya po yung file. Then sa for and task sa line po is yato po dito ang ID, name, description, task na status po. Then yun po na file write line po is sinusulat niya po ang content of the variable line represented by the file. Then sa def update po is allows a user to update an existing task name, description, or status. User select a task by its ID and then choose which attribute to update. Then ma-load task for user po sa yung username. Then task ID is ma-input po yung user ng ID para i-update po yung name or description or status. Per task in task, if task ID is nag-equal po siya sa task ID na in-input po ng user is ma-print po yung choose what to update, name, description, or status. Then mapili po yung user kung alin po doon yung i-update niya. Pag pinili niya po is 1 is ma-enter po yung user ng new name. If 2 naman po is new description and 3 is status po. Then pag invalid po is ma-return siya ulit sa may task ID. Then save task for username or task. Then ma-print po siya pag na-update na po yung name or description or status is ma-print po siya sa task updated successfully. Then ma-return po siya. Pag hindi naman po is ma-print po siya sa task not found. Then sa delete task po is allows a user to delete a task by its ID. After deletion, task IDs are reassigned to ensure sequential ordering. Yung load task for user po is suggest a piece of code for a function designed to retrieve associated with a particular user po. Sa task ID po is ma-input po siya ng ID po para ma-delete niya po yung gusto niya pong i-delete. Then, sa update task po, task for task in task, if task ID is not equal to task ID, then ma-print po siya sa task not found. Else, for I task and enumerate update task 1, task ID string I, save task for username, update task. Then pag po siya is pag nag-equal po siya is ma-print po siya sa task delete successfully. Sa deep search task for user po is allows a user to search for task based on a search term. The search cover task name, description, and status po. Ganda naman nga po sa task po, load task for user is a suggested file po. Then sa search po is ma-input po siya sa name, description, or status na gusto niya po hanapin. Pero po yung input niya na po is naka-lowered. Found task, task for task in task, if search query in task is nag-equal po sa name or search query in task description or status, if the task is found, for task in found task is ma-print po siya sa ID, then task ID, name, description, or status. Then ma-else po siya, ma-print. Pag hindi po nahanap yung po is ma-print po siya sa no matching task found. Then sa view task naman po for user is if task for task in task is ma-print po ulit siya sa ID, name, description, or status. Else, no task found pag hindi po siya nahanap.